Let's go.
Okay. Okay, I was getting there. Hey. Okay, welcome to the threesome, y'all. And welcome back to the threesome for anybody who has been brave enough to come back. This is the podcast where the three of us try to tackle three topics each week, more or less, give or take. You know, whatever. Anyway, the three of us are Star, our point person, and our optimistic realist,
Woo!
and Magic, the center of our threesome and our voice of reason.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
And bringing up the rear, as always, that would be me. I identify as the pragmatic contrarian, and my name is Storm. Christmas is coming up, Star.
Yeah, Christmas is coming up, and it's kind of disheartening for me to see so many people who basically want to ruin childhood for kids. The whole holiday spirit and getting excited about Santa and going to Hudson's on the top floor and going to visit Santa and the whole winter wonderland. I mean, I think that was just such an endearing part of my childhood. It's disappointing to see so many people who choose not to indulge in that whole letting their kids believe in Santa thing. I just think so many things about childhood have been taken away from kids, and that's just one more thing.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
I get it because you go to all this trouble and financial strain because they're like, I want. And then,
You gonna give a white man credit for all my work?
right, they give a fat white dude credit for bringing them everything. And meanwhile, you get none of it. I get why people aren't with the Santa Claus shit. Let a kid be a kid is the way I feel about it.
Exactly. Let a child be a child. And the thing is that I don't know that I ever thought that Santa bought everything under the tree.
Well,
Like,
not everything,
most
no.
of the time, there would be like gifts
Right,
that were
yeah.
marked with my
Yeah.
name on them, and it would say from Santa, and then it would say from mom or grandma or whoever. But yeah, I mean, there would be just like a couple of gifts or whatever from Santa. I
Okay,
don't
here's
know.
here's my thing. When you get to an age when all your gifts are expensive, that's when we got to bust this Santa Claus myth. because,
But
Word.
because like if you asking for PS5s and stuff and your parents are unemployed, they gonna have a talk with you because they can't be spending $500-600 on some damn games for you just so that you can maintain your illusion of Santa Claus.
isn't that like selfish?
That you want to keep a roof over their head
No,
instead.
no, no, no,
The
no, 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 no,
Jehovah
no,
Witness
no, no,
shit, I
no.
take care of you year round, little nickel.
I mean, I mean,
No, not that you can't buy or not buying the PS5 or whatever the overly expensive, extravagant, whatever gift is. But the fact that you said once the list is a whole bunch of expensive things, Santa's
yes.
got to get taken out of the picture.
Well,
Like,
no, because okay, when the kids are young and they're like, all I want is this little thing and this little thing and this little thing, and like maybe their whole list amounts to $100. Sure, Santa Claus. But once they get to be around 9, 10 years old, and they're talking about a PS5, have you seen how much some PS5s are?
but
If
again, isn't that selfish that you don't
no,
want your
no,
kid to have?
no. Matter of fact, it is the most unselfish thing because if your child is saying, "I've been good all year," and all I want is that PS5, and you can't afford it, it's time for you to have a talk with them so that they don't think. Because what's going to happen when they wake up on Christmas and the one thing they wanted ain't under that tree?
But
Ooh-wee.
historically, for Christmas, I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't know that many kids. that got every freaking thing that they wanted or that they
No, no,
asked
no, no,
Santa
no,
for.
no, 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 no. You don't understand. There are kids who are like, the only thing I want is that PS5. I'm not asking for nothing else. I just want that PS5. I've been good all year, Santa. All year long. I want that PS5.
Yeah,
Then what do? You let them think
yeah.
that Santa Claus just didn't think they were good enough?
Oh, you let them know that there's a back order. No, I'm just kidding.
So I'm just saying, like, there has to come a point where you have to have that conversation.
Your
And
ass
it
will get
just,
the PS3 from the pawn shop.
Right.
right. And then the kid still thinks, oh, Santa don't like me, or I didn't.
Honestly, the Xbox without the disc drive is only $3. Might be time to change systems.
Nothing's wrong
But with
with
the
you.
Santa shit, personally, I'm traumatized because at 5 years old, I figured out the whole Santa thing was some bullshit. I don't know if I was reading too much Encyclopedia Brown or whatever, but I was like, Mom, come on, stop. And she
Well,
tried to play that shit up until I was 9 years old, maybe 10. And I'm like, I know
yeah.
no
Well,
handwriting. What are we doing here?
here's the thing. I had an older brother who
Fucked up
would ruin
everything.
every. Yeah, he would ruin everything for me anyway. So when he was 8, I was still 6. So he was already at the, yeah, Santa ain't real. And then he would show me where the gifts were hidden for Christmas. So we kind of figured it out. And then my parents did pull a fast one on us when I was probably about 8. My brother had to be 10. We went looking for the gifts and we found them. My parents made us go over one of their really close friends' house on Christmas Eve. And by the time we got home at like 2 o'clock in the morning, there was an array of gifts that we had not found that were
Oh, that's
underneath the
nice.
tree.
I like that.
Right. So we were like, well, maybe, maybe we had the Santa Claus thing wrong. Turns out what had happened was while we were over at the friend's house, they said they were going to the store or whatever, and then they snuck off and got the gifts up under the tree. And we were none the wiser until like maybe about a year or two later when we were thinking about it.
To keep it a buck, yo, I'm one of them dudes. I have never fed my kids that bullshit because I was so insulted that my mother tried to play that shit for years. Like, why are you lying to me? Like, we supposed to be us. What the fuck?
Yeah, my brother was the same way with his kids, but he was just about, no, I'm not giving somebody else the credit for my
Yeah,
hard work.
that too. I'm not giving fucking Santa, Tooth Fairy, none of them motherfuckers. To keep it a buck, I'm still on the fence about telling them about white Jesus.
Oh, well, no,
Well,
that's
that
that's
leads
my,
to our
yeah.
next topic.
Not that I am opposed to my child believing in all of that, but I just figured, that would have to be something that somebody discovers on their own. I'm not going to try to cram it down anyone's throat.
For what?
Also,
Yeah, word.
I
I'm
would
an
not,
advocate of freedom of religion.
exactly. Also,
But
I
let's
am not
separate
the,
beliefs from facts.
yeah, also, I'm not the one to cram it down anyone's throat because I'm a skeptic.
You just said
Um,
last week God is people's imaginary friend. Go on, do
okay.
it.
Is that not skeptical? I
Nah,
mean,
that's flat out fuck that.
I'll say I'm an atheist leaning agnostic. I allow for the possibility that I'm wrong, but I doubt it. But the way I see it is, if that's what helps people and it makes them feel better, if it comforts them and soothes them, then cool. Although that's not what I see happening. I
I
mean,
feel the same way about
I
Alcoholics
see
Anonymous.
it. I mean, I see it driving people nuts, but
You see what about religion driving people nuts? What
Belief is some
specifically?
powerful shit.
like everything about it, the constraints of it, the expectations, the oh my
Homophobia.
god, oh my god, the pod people talk.
I'm gonna need you
But
to elaborate.
I am blessed and highly favored. What's another one?
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it? Can you bless me with $1 today?
God
Um,
is good,
all the time.
and all the
Pod people
time.
talk, okay? And all the time,
What
God.
kills me is motherfuckers that spit out Bible quotes that ain't never read the book.
And then
They're
there's
like, such
that.
and such is in the Bible. Like, nah, it isn't. I read the shit.
Right, exactly. I've read it cover to cover. So, you
Genesis to
know,
Revelations.
I will admit that the Old Testament I did more skimming than actual delving. But the New Testament was,
Ironically, it's the same book.
well, yeah, but the new,
Jesus had 12 disciples. Joseph had 12 brothers and sisters. They were both born under suspect circumstances. They both started they preaching when they were 30 with their congregation. It's the same story twice.
it's a lot of the same stuff over and over again.
All ripped from the Egyptian Book of the Dead, by the way,
There
but
you go.
some of these
Yes, a
other
lot
shit,
of that.
that's
Yeah.
the devil.
Some of it's borrowed from,
A lot of it's borrowed.
I mean, a lot of it's borrowed from like mythology. The
That's
Greeks
the
had
thing.
certain,
Every religion is mythology if you don't believe in it.
yes. And people are like, well, if you feel that way, then why do you celebrate Christmas? Because, come on, y'all.
I want shit.
No, it's not that. It's just that Christmas ain't really about Christ anymore. I mean, I mean, I celebrate all kind of holidays, though, to tell you the truth.
Was it ever about Christ? Because if you know anything about
I mean,
astrology,
well, absolutely. Well, first of all, the only reason why it's on December 25th is
Taurus,
they had to conquer the pagans some kind of way. Well, they couldn't kill them all for heresy, so they just had to commandeer their religion. It's no coincidence that Christmas coincides with Yule. Also,
you
I also think it's funny, how people be singing about Yuletide carols and don't even know where that comes from. But anyway,
drop
I'm on a
knowledge.
rant and I'm going to stop because I really don't want to piss on anyone's religion. I really don't. Again, if it helps you and you love it, I think it's great. The problem I have is when people try to push it upon me. That's the only part that irritates me. If you want to go sit in church all day on Sunday and Tuesdays and Wednesdays and whenever you go, cool. Okay. Just quit trying to indoctrinate me is my ask. But no, I have no problem with other people and their religion.
Amen Ra.
I remember when I was probably around 7 years old, I had a friend on my block who was Jewish. And that was the first time I had heard about this Hanukkah, right? And I went to her house and she was explaining to me all about these 8 days of gifts and this menorah. I remember I went home and asked my mom, I was like, how come we can't be Jewish? Because it
Because you
sounded
want
like,
the 8 days of gifts.
yeah, it sounded like a good setup, right? And my
Hey,
mom was like, no. Southern Baptist was like, no. That is not what we're doing.
technically, the Old Testament is the religion, and the New Testament is the remix. And shout out to the Mormons for the Third Testament is the remix of the remix. Freedom
Don't
of
get me
religion.
started. Yes, don't get me started on the
Religion.
more. Okay, I'll just put it right there because I'll just say this: there is a very fine line between a religion and a cult.
They're all cults if you don't believe in them.
No, not necessarily, but you know,
Yeah.
there's a fine line, and not that I'm calling. I don't want anybody saying I'm calling Mormons a cult. I mean, they may have been once upon a time, and there probably are still certain sects of them that are cultish. Y'all don't even let black people be Mormon until recently. So
I think it was 99 or 2000. Well, they let black people in. They didn't let black people be preachers.
yeah, they didn't let black people in until like the 80s.
Yeah, the preacher thing was 99, 2000.
Yeah, it was very recent history. So, and now they're all in Utah, adopting black children. But that's a whole nother discussion that I did not want to get into. Um,
Get the good
Kwanzaa.
genetics. Shit.
We'll celebrate Kwanzaa. There's a nice non-religious, I guess, holiday.
I don't see how Kwanzaa is any more bullshit than Christmas, but
Well,
I
It's
read.
not. The only problem I have with Kwanzaa is the hoteps around here trying to pretend like all black people know about Kwanzaa and are all into it and celebrate it. And,
And like it's
we
some shit that was born in the motherland.
yes, and that we've done it all our lives. And I'm like, I didn't even hear the word Kwanzaa until a smooth 92 or something. So,
Right?
you know, but
Star, where you at?
Your only issue with Kwanzaa is the hotel.
pretty much, yeah. And them trying to pretend like, we were born into it.
Yeah, like it's some real African shit. Got some
Right.
root.
Like, yeah, like
Well,
it wasn't something that somebody just
Got
came up
some
with.
deep rooted shit.
No, I think the idea of Kwanzaa is cool. Like, I don't have a problem with it.
It's cute.
I don't necessarily understand all of it, but again, that's because it's not something I grew up doing. You know,
You even care to understand it?
I guess not, because if I did, I would. And that sounds terrible, but I gotta be honest. On December 26th, I'm exhausted from the holiday season.
Okay, hold on. I'm Googling Kwanzaa. The seven principles in
Oh,
Guzu Saba of
okay, we're not
Kwanzaa.
doing that. We're not, no, 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 no,
We ain't
no.
trying to help out our
why are we
people.
not doing that?
Because anybody who cares can Google it. I mean, it's
I'm
not hard
trying to
to
help
find.
out. While we
I mean,
Googling, look up a underground movie called Zeitgeist, and it'll wholeheartedly explain the depth behind religion and Christ Mass.
okay. I don't know that I will do that, but okay. I mean,
I'm militant light skinned brother moment. I gotta do what I can.
but no, I mean, I think the idea of Kwanzaa is cool. I just
Although you
wish it
just
was.
shot down me explaining what the fuck it is, but yeah,
I just wish it was spaced out a little bit.
just shot down the whole black culture.
Yes. I don't know the principles of Kwanzaa. I don't have them committed to memory, but I do like seeing other people's celebrations.
I celebrate Kwanzaa.
Kudos to you.
Yeah.
When I was coming up and first found out about Kwanzaa, I actually was in Catholic school, and our
Yeah.
Black history teacher taught us about Kwanzaa. And the first thing that I heard about Kwanzaa was that because when they brought us over here, they took our names, they took our traditions. Basically they tried to erase our history.
We lost our
Um,
religion, our culture, our God.
And many of
yeah.
us, by the way we act, we even lost
We
our mind.
even lost our minds.
So we decided to invent our own.
Well, come up with new traditions. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
That's a
I
better way of
mean,
putting it.
every tradition, religion, it has to start somewhere. I don't get where people's angst is with Kwanzaa because again, every religion, every tradition, everything, it has to have a beginning. It has to have start somewhere.
Shout out to your bullshit beliefs for the holy days, people. I hope you get everything you want.
Happy holidays, whichever holiday y'all are celebrating. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. What do you say for Kwanzaa? Merry Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa.
Oh
Uh,
my goodness.
I mean, my fist is in the air. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. And be grateful when people give you a gift. Don't be looking at them
Word.
sideways like, oh, they ain't buy me
Yeah.
this.
Somebody thought about your broke ass.
Exactly. They have to buy you shit. And that's all
All
I got
right.
to say about that.
Topic number three. I was talking to listeners because I care, and they have questions. We're gonna do a speed round because I'm not overthinking none of this shit.
Okay. Overthinking is my brand, but I'll try.
Such the fucking contrary.
I
First, I
said
guess
I'll
it's for
try.
me. They ask, "Are you capable of loving again and open to being loved?" The lady's opinion
Uh,
too.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, at the moment, I think all women are out their fucking minds, and I'm bitter. I ain't gonna front.
When I called you bitter,
I
you
wasn't
had a
at that particular moment. Right now, oh y'all crazy.
okay. Who?
I'm damaged. I ain't gonna front.
We're all damaged. Did this question come from a woman or a man?
A woman.
Okay. First of all, raise up off of him. Okay, because I got next.
Ah!
Okay, that's the first thing.
You
About
Okay.
to
wildin'.
start a whole little podcast war.
Yes. Yes. Because hey, look, I will track down that bitch IP address. Don't play with me.
Uh-uh.
Okay.
But the question is, are you capable of being loved again or open to being loved?
I would say I'm more open to it now than I have been at points in the past.
Stara?
Absolutely, more so than ever at any given point in my life. Period.
That's a good thing. Okay, this one's for Star.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Knowing what you know now, what era of your life would you like to redo?
My 20s.
Oh, because you
And
didn't have a whole phase.
fucking rookie.
Not just because I didn't have a whole phase. I hurt some people that I really cared about in my 20s
We all did.
and
Interesting.
didn't realize that I was hurting them, especially to the extent that I was hurting them. I just made some really piss poor decisions as far
We
as
all
just
did.
life in general. I mean, it's your 20s,
Yeah.
but
Well,
Yeah,
that's the time you're supposed to be making piss poor decisions.
yeah,
right?
but there are some piss poor decisions that follow you
Yeah.
throughout your life.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, the end
You're my
results
boy.
follow you throughout your life.
If I could go back and do it all again, the whole period from the time I graduated from high school till I was maybe 30, I'll say, I would redo all of that. If I could go back knowing what I know now.
Yeah, that's the important part.
Otherwise, no, I'm straight. Because, like she said, there were a lot of things that happened during that time that affected my entire life. That if I could go
Right.
back and redo them, I would with a whole lot more wisdom. And
Yeah.
it would have made the rest of my life going forward a lot easier. Because you don't realize how much you impact the rest of your life with the bullshit you do during those years.
Right. For me, probably my mid teens to mid 20s. Lord knows I made a whole lot of bad decisions in that time period. I'm cool now. I think I had to go through what I had to go through. You ain't a boss if you ain't ever took a loss. So
Yeah.
I learned from that shit, but I could have made a whole lot of better decisions in that era.
Yeah. Youth, as they say, is wasted on the young.
Indeed.
Hmm.
All right. Storm. What was your favorite sexual experience? It could be your favorite person, favorite act, or favorite location.
I won't call out his name.
I mean, help that nigga's ego. What the fuck?
No, I will not call out his name because I don't know what his current circumstances are or any of that stuff.
Get that man
Um,
some bragging rights.
but he was a lieutenant in the United States Army, and I shall never forget that man. Yes, it was beautiful. There were tears. They were
What
mine.
kind of fuck? There was no details to that whatsoever.
And there will not be.
You pussy.
There just won't. That was my favorite. Here's what I'll tell you.
Son.
I felt that for like the next week. Not like, oh, I was sore or anything like no. I couldn't pee for an entire week.
Nigga, I got new goals in life. What the fuck?
because the sensation was too much. I just couldn't do it. So yeah, it took me a week before I could just actually sit down and pee normally.
Shout out to that dude.
Yes,
Like,
absolutely. Shout out to that dude. And then he got
um,
deployed, and I never saw him again. So there was that.
fucking military.
Yes.
Favorite person and favorite act happened with the same person, and we're not putting any names out there. But um, the location, there's a 27 floor apartment building in Southfield,
Projects.
Okay.
and we were on the roof
No.
at sunset.
Okay.
Uh, that's sexy.
It is, but it's also dangerous because in
Hey,
Southfield.
dangerous and sexy.
Well, I'm just saying, in Southfield, there resides a couple of local news facilities, and they have,
Can
you
we
know,
get to the fucking part?
they have helicopters. So I'm just saying, you on the roof, but go ahead.
Do your thing.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about that is that, a person with a good pitching arm could have probably landed a rock probably right in front of one of those local news stations.
Okay, because I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Shout out to the D.
Okay, well, go ahead.
It was freaking awesome.
Because of the person or because of the location?
It was both. The person was surprisingly highly skilled
Okay.
because dude was pretty much like a Jekyll and Hyde. If you sat up and had a conversation with him, you would never expect for him to be who he is when he gets in the mood.
Oh,
And
Yo,
it's just
ladies,
like,
fuck nerds.
this is
huh?
this is
I'm telling
somebody
the
I know.
ladies, fuck nerds.
Oh, with pleasure. But this is somebody I know, right? Or who I've met.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, that's who I thought you were talking about. Go ahead.
yeah. He, like, after all this time, he's still the
Well,
number one person, and that dude needs to teach classes.
yeah, except for not talk.
Yeah, just don't talk. Don't talk.
Okay. Magic.
I'm not going to call names because nobody else did, but she nasty. She's a very talented chick. She was very much anytime, any place, anything. She was all in, and that's the closest person I ever came to matching my sex drive. So
Somebody I know.
you know of her. I don't think y'all are friends like that.
No. Okay. All right.
She was about to put a hit out.
No, I wasn't. No, 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 no. Me and the person I'm thinking of, we cool.
Who should make the travel arrangements to meet their online crush, the woman or the man, or does it matter?
The travel arrangements?
Assuming it's long range shit.
It depends on who's traveling. If I'm traveling, then I'm gonna make the arrangements, right? If you traveling, you gotta make the arrangements.
I was thinking more so of whoever can afford to do it, but there's also the factor of whoever is, I don't want to use the word desperate, but
Yeah,
Most eager.
yeah,
yeah,
eager. Eager is a good word. Whoever's the most eager should be like, fuck it, I'm gonna trick that money.
yeah. Oh well, see, I wasn't looking at it in a monetary sense. I was just looking at it in terms of making arrangements.
I think the guy should make them.
Oh, a traditionalist.
Right?
Hmm.
Interesting.
Because you feel pussy is more valuable than dick.
No, it's just
She's a traditionalist.
I'm a little bit of a traditionalist, but also I just feel like the mindset of a lot of men when the woman kind of puts forth that first initial contact and is like making all the arrangements and things. I don't know. I just
Okay.
think
That shit's sexy. Show some effort for this dick.
I don't mind showing effort. You have a lot of guys who be like, she did this and she did that. Their mindset is just different when they don't have to, I won't say fight for it, but when they don't have to really put forth that much of an effort.
Feed the ego.
I get what you're saying. I just don't trust people like that, let alone a dude.
Then why not have them come to you?
Well, if he's coming to me, then he's making the arrangements, and that's fine. But there may be a particular reason why I'm going to him. Maybe I'm going to visit my godchild, and I just might happen to be, down the street.
Well, then that's different because that's just a matter of meeting up on convenience.
Okay.
Um, you just happen to be there.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
oh, hey, you live
Right.
here. Let's meet up.
Right. If I'm going to travel, I don't trust anybody else to make arrangements for me. I also am a control freak on every level, so I like to be in charge of what I'm doing. You know.
Women.
I am the same way. And I've met a guy like who was from New York and we talked for a little bit and he was the one that pretty much said, I'm going to come to Detroit. I want to meet you, whatever, whatever. And that was cool. I didn't really
Dedication.
have anything to do with it other than he said he was going to be here at a particular time and that was that.
Are there any health factors that would turn you away from starting a potential relationship with someone? The package and herpes. I don't know about y'all.
Mine or his? I mean, because those are standard. No, I mean, I'm pretty open. We already know that, Star is not with the ED. No, I mean, I'm pretty open. It would have to depend on who it was and the extent of the health condition. For example, certain closed head injuries. I'm not a good person and I don't have patience. So it would have to be somebody that I was already in love with, or enamored with. But for me to meet somebody, it would probably be hard to get to know somebody in that state. I don't know. Definitely an HIV diagnosis and herpes or some other STD that may or may not come to light. Yeah.
Yeah, whichever hepatitis isn't curable.
Yeah, or even just is not something I feel like dealing with. Because there are things that are curable, but I may not want to have to deal with the cure.
Right.
So, yeah.
STDs, I mean, and then certain mental defects
Right.
like schizophrenia and really even unfortunately, like bipolar. And part of that is it's not that I don't have patience, it's that I've been surrounded by that my whole life and
I mean, I get it.
I can't.
There are some bipolar people whose condition is very managed. And so I don't think that would be an issue for me. Same thing. There are some schizophrenics that have manage their condition. Like if I was already with somebody and these conditions befell them, I wouldn't get rid of them. I wouldn't throw the whole person away for them. But going into a relationship under those circumstances at this point in my life would be hard because I'm not at a time in my life where I'm doing a whole lot of conforming. You know what I mean?
Word. That's a thing I find the more I'm trying to ease back into being single. Every woman I meet, because I don't fuck with young chicks, is basically all in their 40s and up. They have a plethora of extensive health problems. And
Okay.
that shit is just weird to me. I don't get sick. I can't think of the last time I've had a cold. I don't.
When was the last time you went to the doctor?
A few months ago. Well, no, I took a COVID test Monday, but
Yeah, but I mean, like had a complete workup.
a few months ago.
Okay. I mean,
I'm not acting like I'm some super health nerd that eats fucking vegan
listen.
shit. I'm just luckily genetic.
Well, and that's very true because a lot of what I have is absolutely genetic. It's funny for me to say because I'm always talking about, what ails me. But like I don't really have any serious health concerns. Like my most serious health concern is my anemia, which
That is serious.
it's serious when it gets serious. You know what I mean? Because it goes through phases. But it's also an easy treatment. At the end of the day, if I want to go and sit in the hospital and they stick a needle in my arm and I come out refreshed, that's really the extent of and my back. I have all kinds of back issues, but that's the burden that the heavy breasted bear.
Which is some bullshit. Every chick I know that's got a breast reduction still has back problems.
Yes,
They
because,
got it too late in
yeah,
life.
yeah, because it's already messed up your back.
Damage already done.
Yeah.
Respect your titties.
Well, respect your back and do it early on because, I mean, honestly, I should have had one in my 20s, if not my late teens.
Breast reduction surgery is the devil.
Okay, well, I'm trying to
Do not
find.
let no man fool you.
Okay, well, I'm trying to find a real good Satan MD.
Your ass still gonna have a hurt back afterwards.
At least my back won't be going out on me to where I can't. I had an episode where I couldn't walk.
I knew that shit. I don't even have titties.
Okay.
Well, part of the reason why I believe, Magic, that you are running into women who have multiple health issues is just it's a consequence of the age range that you're dating in. A lot of times when people have health issues that either haven't been diagnosed or let's just say haven't come to full development, yeah, a lot of that starts happening in your late 30s, early 40s. With me, I have several things going on, and although one of them started manifesting themselves in my 20s, I didn't have any problems really out of a lot of the other stuff until I hit right about late 30s, like 37,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere around there. I
Around that
started getting
time.
little hints and twinges of what was to come. But yeah, I think the consequence of the age range that,
Yeah, I know
you're
that's
dating
right.
in. I have rheumatoid. When they did the pathology workup, they were like, you probably have had this your whole life. But it didn't really start affecting me till my late 30s.
Mm.
That's just like people who, let's say, high blood pressure runs in their family or whatever. Like, high blood pressure runs in my family, but I don't have an issue with it.
Right.
However, this is around that age where if I'm going to have an issue with it, it'll probably start peaking up like right about now.
So,
Right.
What's the other thing? My
Diabetes.
anemia. No,
yeah.
I don't have diabetes.
Now I meant black people in general.
Yeah.
What?
And seeing you're right. A lot of black
A lot
people
of black
our
people do
age
have diabetes.
have diabetes and high blood pressure,
Shit.
and I don't have either of
Yeah.
those.
I don't have either of those either, but first time my anemia started showing up was when I had my daughter. They basically were like, "Oh, you're low on iron." They told me I was anemic and was like, I was like, "Okay, what is that?" They were like, "You're low on iron. Here goes some iron pills." Came back a couple of weeks later, they like, "Oh, okay, you good." What they didn't tell me at the time was that even though I don't have sickle cell, which is common in black folks, I'm a trait carrier, which is another thing that's common in black folks.
How did you not know that?
So because I didn't know. I
Oh,
mean, nobody had ever said that to me, that
huh.
I was a
Well,
trait carrier.
I guess because I grew up in the military, you find that out early if you're a carrier. Matter of fact, you used to see the guys walking around. with the red dog tags to
Mhm.
let you know that they were trait carriers.
Mm.
Yeah, man.
What? Why?
Yeah, that seems like a lot of information to be throwing out to the public.
The dog tags were to let them know that they didn't need to be inoculated from malaria when they were sent abroad. Because if you're a carrier of sickle cell, then you don't need to be inoculated.
With that, I had no other problems with the anemia until my late 30s, where I started having really serious problems with the anemia and didn't even know what it was. I thought anemia was more of a temporary thing. I didn't realize I was a trait carrier. And then, like I said, in my 30s, stuff started showing up, stuff started happening, and I was just like, what is going on? So when they finally figured out, oh, you're low on iron, you're a trait carrier, you have anemia, whatever, whatever, I'm like, oh, so I just take these pills and I'm good. And he was like, yeah, at this age, you're probably going to consistently have problems with it and you have to be careful and dietary and all this other stuff because you're a trait carrier. And I'm like, I'm a who?
No. You're lucky that they even found it with you because, like, I'm not a sickle cell trait carrier and they damn near let me die for want of a blood test. But that's a whole nother story.
So why
Oh,
am I lucky they found it with me again?
Because they did. With me, I walked around for years. Like, I was screaming at them that something was wrong. And they were like, oh, nah, you're all right. Lose a few
It was the
pounds
anemia.
and you'll get your energy back. That's what they kept telling me. And all they needed to
Got it.
do was run a goddamn blood test. That's all they ever needed to do. And luckily, it just so happened that I went to give blood one time and the nurse, pricked my finger to get my iron reading. And then she was like, huh. And she starts hitting the damn machine. And she was like, are you anemic? And I'm like, not that I know of. She was like, oh, well, I think this machine is dead. Let me go get another one. She comes back, same thing. And then she's like, okay, I need you to call your doctor tomorrow. She's like, because your iron level isn't even reading on my machine.
Wow.
And that's how I found out I was anemic, from a nurse while I was trying to give blood, and not from the various doctors that I went to complaining of all the symptoms of anemia that didn't bother to run an iron test on my blood. Even though they took my blood, didn't bother to do that one small little test that could have told them years before it got so bad that my doctor was like, I need you to get to the hospital. I need you to not wait. This is serious. I don't even know how you're walking around with iron levels that low. Well, I'm walking
America.
around with iron levels this low because your profession is incompetent. But that's a whole nother story.
True indeed.
It's a whole
Okay.
other issue.
I mean, you gotta grasp the concept of a speed round, but
Oh, right.
yeah. Last question. How long should a person try and pursue another individual before giving up?
Is this about me? I feel attacked. I feel personally attacked. Okay?
Take it how you want,
And listen, okay,
but I'm all over this one.
that man is the Laura to my Urkel. And I will wear him down. I want y'all to know I will wear his ass down. Okay? So don't be questioning me about how long I'm spending on this. You worry about your damn self. That's all I got to say about that.
Well,
Oh fuck. As a perennial friend zone guy, it's been a chick or two. It took me 20 some years to break out of the friend zone, so I say go as long as you can stand it.
So you're saying there's a chance. Y'all heard that, right? He just told me there's a chance. Y'all heard that, right?
Oh fuck. Yeah, there's always a chance of shit happening. Sun shines on the dog's ass some days.
Mm-hmm.
Diddy
Star?
Star,
well,
what's your time limit?
Yeah, I've had one person that I had a longing for way too long, and that shit will never happen again. My name is not Nikki Parker. I'm not chasing after
You're
your
a
ass.
queen.
I don't know. I think my ego is kind of like, if you're not interested, I'm just like, all right, you're lost. Whatever. Next.
Was that it? Was that all the questions?
Yeah.
No. Okay. Lightning round wasn't very lightning. Yeah.
Y'all elaborated on some shit, but all right. Hey, if you like this shit, tell a friend, tell a foe, tell a hoe. If you don't, tell everybody we know. Whatever. I'm seriously considering starting a mix of OnlyFans and SoundCloud where I freestyle with my dick out or something. But
Mm, mm, mm.
I think you should do that because we could be getting paid.
when did you start speaking French fluently?
Like in the 10th grade.
Can I get my passive income? I
I
still got
mean,
little kids.
I
I'm trying to
understand that.
recover
Listen,
spending.
listen. I'm not greedy. I'm willing to get you the bulk of the cut. I'm just looking
Ish.
for a management cut. That's all.
No, you should participate and then you get the percentage of whatever that video
I
sells.
am participating. I'm directing.
She trying to pimp you out.
Right?
Okay, well
That's exactly what that shit
that was
sounds
a
like. Y'all these great motherfuckers
that was a
listen.
nice way of saying it, but okay.
Nah, I'm good.
I mean, I'm just
I can finance myself.
well, I'm sure you can, but who gonna keep you safe, boo? Anyway, so
Hey.
we're out of here. We're out of here till next week. Yeah, yay, we're done.
Yay.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever the fuck y'all doing. Be careful at them New Year's parties. It's supposed to be a whole pandemic out here.
Oh well, we'll talk to them before that, and advise again.
Happy holidays.
Yeah,
Stay safe. Send more
Yeah.
questions. That was fun.
Word.
yeah. Some more questions. That was cool.
All right, bye, people.
Bye.
Adios.